even made it to training camp yet. We have not even made it to the December 12th Women's USA Basketball training camp yet, and they are already disrespecting Caitlin Clark.
Look like Team USA is forcing Caitlin Clark to change.
Team USA just made a decision that has the entire basketball world completely losing its mind, and it's a move that feels almost calculated to create chaos. They are forcing Caitlin Clark, who is without a doubt the single biggest name in women's basketball right now, to give up her iconic number 22. The backlash to this news has been swift and absolutely brutal, as you can probably imagine. And now there are serious whispers circulating that Caitlin might actually refuse to play for the team altogether if these kinds of changes and what many are calling blatant disrespect continue. You can bet that Team USA is officially in full-blown panic mode. Now, before we dive into this absolute public relations disaster, I want you to tell me in the comments down below, should Caitlin Clark be allowed to keep the number she made famous, or is Team USA somehow right to enforce their rules, even if it means alienating their biggest star? Because let me tell you, what's happening behind the scenes is way worse than anyone initially expected. Alright, so let's get right into it. Because Team USA Basketball just dropped a bombshell that sent massive shockwaves through the entire sports world, and you are not going to believe the reason why. They are forcing Caitlin Clark, the undisputed face of women's basketball, to abandon her legendary number 22. And let's be crystal clear about something here. This isn't just some simple administrative number change. This is being viewed by almost everyone as a blatant, calculated act of disrespect that has fans, analysts, and really everyone in between seriously questioning the true intentions behind this absolutely shocking decision. We are talking about the star who single-handedly brought millions of new eyes to women's basketball, now being told that her most recognizable symbol, the very number on her back that kids are buying jerseys of, must be left behind. It's a move many are calling a deliberate slight, a genuine slap in the face, especially when you take a moment to consider her meteoric rise and the unparalleled, record-breaking impact she's having on the sport. Right now, no name is bigger than Caitlin Clark in women's basketball, period. Her name has taken the entire world by storm. And this whole situation with Team USA just keeps getting worse and more bizarre. Because here's the kicker. This isn't an isolated incident. Caitlin was already snubbed from the Olympic roster earlier this year, a move that left everyone scratching their head.
Caitlin Clark, who is not one of the top 12 to 15 WNBA players, did not make the Olympic team. But Christian Laettner wasn't one of the top 100 players in the NBA, and he made an Olympic team. Olympic basketball team, men's and women's, has always been subjective and very political at the end of the roster. Isaiah Thomas didn't make it. Why? Michael Jordan didn't like him. The WNBA Finals had 700,000 viewers. The draft that included Caitlin Clark had 3 times as many. Life, whether it's a relationship, business, sports, life gives you so few big waves. When they do, grab your surfboard. Women's basketball feels like it's suffering from spite or historically low self-esteem, where they want to prove that they know more than you do. It's an opportunity.
And now, not only are they continuing to disrespect her legacy and her impact, but they're forcing her to change the very number that has become completely synonymous with her entire career. This bombshell was officially dropped just ahead of Team USA's absolutely critical training camp in North Carolina, which was scheduled to run from December 12th through the 14th. Think about the timing here. This camp was supposed to be a massive celebration of the sport, a true showcase of the best talent in the entire world, featuring incredible stars like Paige Beckers, Juju Watkins, and so many others. Instead of being a moment of unity and excitement, it instantly became the center stage for this unprecedented and frankly, utterly bizarre controversy that has overshadowed everything else.
This is the, these are the Team USA. And these are the player numbers. So obviously, Kelsey Plum, number 5. Jackie Young, 13. You have Griner, 15. Chelsea Gray, 8. Kalia Copper, 7. And then everybody that was not on the roster is above number 15.
Reports started surfacing early in the morning, revealing this shocking mandate that would effectively strip Clark of the number that has become completely and totally synonymous with her record-shattering college career at Iowa and her dominant performances so far in the WNBA. The timing of this decision just makes it even more baffling and suspicious. It comes precisely as her fame is exploding on a global scale, a fact that only serves to amplify the outrage being felt by her incredibly dedicated and rapidly growing army of supporters. Make absolutely no mistake about it, Caitlin Clark's number 22 isn't just some random jersey number you can swap out. It is, without a single shred of a doubt, the single most recognizable number in all of women's sports right now, period. There is no debate. There is no valid argument that can possibly be made against this undeniable fact. From her mind-blowing, record-shattering performances at the University of Iowa to her explosive WNBA career, the number 22 has become a completely inseparable part of her identity. It's a beacon, a powerful symbol that fans instantly recognize from the nosebleed seats in arenas and on television screens all around the world. To so many people who follow her every move, it's not just a number on a jersey. It's a legacy in the making, her entire brand. The compelling narrative of her journey and her incredible story are all intrinsically and powerfully linked to that number. It embodies the audacious long-range three-pointers, the almost psychic court vision, and the sheer unyielding will to win that has captivated a massive audience, stretching far beyond the traditional basketball fan base. She has literally become synonymous with the number 22 in the exact same way that Michael Jordan is forever linked with. To demand a change at this pivotal point in her career feels like a deliberate attempt to dilute that incredibly powerful connection she's built. A perplexing and head-scratching move that leaves absolutely everyone wondering what the motivation could possibly be. And here's what makes this even more frustrating for her fans. This isn't the first time that USA Basketball has seemingly undervalued Caitlin Clark's unprecedented influence on the game. Remember earlier this year when she was conspicuously, almost shockingly, snubbed from the Olympic roster? That glaring omission baffled onlookers, especially given her undeniable global appeal and the massive television viewership numbers she consistently commands. This emerging pattern of either overlooking or actively undermining her rising star status continues to fuel intense speculation that there's a deeper, more complicated agenda at play here, perhaps a resistance within the organization to fully embracing the revolutionary game-changer that she so clearly represents. Because when you just look at the raw facts, none of this makes any logical sense unless you consider that Team USA might actually be threatened by just how big Caitlin has become. So what number will she be wearing? The official word is that Caitlin Clark will be wearing number 17 for the upcoming USA training camp. 17. Now, while it's just an arbitrary number on its own, its real significance lies in the fact that it is absolutely not numbered. This forced alteration, especially when you consider the immense brand recognition she brings to the table, sparks a whole array of questions. You have to ask, is this a deliberate attempt by the organization to assert its control, to show everyone who's, or is it simply a tone-deaf, out-of-touch decision that completely fails to grasp the cultural impact of her established brand? Either way you slice it, the message being sent to Clark and her fans feels uncomfortably clear. We're in charge, and your popularity doesn't matter to us. What makes this entire situation even more perplexing and frankly, completely infuriating for so many of her supporters is the stunning revelation that no one, and I mean absolutely no one, on the USA Basketball training camp roster will be wearing number 20. Let that sink in for a sec. It's not like the number was already claimed by a long-standing veteran player or a highly respected star with an unbreakable claim to it. The number is simply being left empty, unused, and available. This single detail completely transforms the incident. It goes from being a potential roster conflict or a simple logistical headache into what feels like an overt, undeniable act of perceived marginalization against the most impactful and popular player of her generation. If nobody else is wearing the number, why on earth would you force Caitlin to change? The logic just doesn't exist. The justification falls apart completely, and that's exactly why people are so angry. This specific slight against Clark also serves as a stark, powerful reminder of the broader disrespect that women in sports, particularly in the WNBA, so often have to face. It ties directly into the ongoing struggles for equitable pay, for better and safer travel conditions, and for increased recognition for their incredible athletic prowess. Think about it. When the most visible and popular star in the entire sport is treated this way, it sends a negative ripple effect throughout the entire league. It echoes the long-standing frustrations and highlights the deep-rooted systemic issues that still plague women's basketball, even despite its recent and incredible surge in popularity. The ongoing tense discussions around the WNBA's collective bargaining agreement and the very real threat of a lockout only underscore these deep-seated problems. The players are becoming increasingly vocal about feeling profoundly undervalued by team owners, citing a stark contrast between their immense contributions to the league's growth and the financial compensation they actually receive. So this number change isn't just an isolated incident. It's another data point in a much larger narrative of perceived disregard for the true worth of female athletes. The players are tired of the constant, exhausting negotiation battles and are ready to stand firm for what they know they deserve. Demands for contracts in the $1.1 to $2 million range, while still incredibly modest compared to their male counterparts, are seen as absolutely fair given the value they bring. The sentiment is crystal clear: the owners are being disrespected. And when this climate of disrespect already exists, an action like forcing a global superstar to change her iconic number just adds massive fuel to an already simmering fire of frustration. Because if they'll disrespect Caitlin Clark like this, what does that say about how they view every other player in the league? Now, it's true that Caitlin Clark isn't the only WNBA star to wear number. A'ja Wilson, a phenomenal talent and respected veteran, also wears it, as do other great players like Cameron Brink. This fact has historically sparked conversations about how such high-profile players might share the number, especially in all-star game scenarios. But here's the key difference. The discussion always revolved around who would graciously defer. It was never about stripping one of the game's biggest names of her signature number without any clear precedent or reason. The previous year, this potential number conflict between Clark and Wilson for an all-star spot was conveniently circumvented when Clark didn't play due to an injury. This meant the hypothetical situation of them sharing or deciding on the number never fully materialized, leaving the question hanging in the air. Now it appears USA Basketball has preemptively solved the problem in a way that many perceive as entirely one-sided, pushing Clark into a new number without the apparent need for such a drastic and controversial measure. Beyond Wilson, other notable players like Cameron Brink are also known for wearing number 22, which adds to its storied history in women's basketball. Each of these players carries their own legacy with the number. However, none of them have achieved the immediate universal recognition and cultural penetration that Caitlin Clark has brought to number 22 in such an incredibly short span of time, making the decision to force her to change particularly jarring to witness. Then, the official roster list for the USA Basketball training camp finally dropped, providing the concrete, undeniable evidence of the number swap. And there it was, plain as day for the world to see, Caitlin Clark listed with number. The confirmation only cemented the initial reports, leaving absolutely no room for doubt about the forced change. This official release validated the fears of many fans who had hoped the initial articles might have been speculative or premature. What's interesting is that players like Angel Reese are listed with their familiar numbers, indicating that not every player was forced to face such a dramatic change. This contrast further highlights the unique and frankly strange situation Clark finds herself in, making the decision feel even more targeted. This isn't some universal mandate being applied across the board. It's a specific redirection for the one player who is currently commanding the most attention. In fascinating footage unearthed from 2017, showing a much younger Caitlin Clark playing high school basketball, it's revealed she was wearing number. But while she has worn different numbers in her journey, number 22 is undeniably the one she made iconic at the collegiate and professional levels. So there it is. Team USA forced Caitlin Clark to change her iconic number, and now they might be facing the serious consequences of disrespecting their biggest star. What do you think? Should Caitlin refuse to play, or should she just deal with it and move on? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, smash that like button, and make sure you subscribe for more basketball drama. We'll see you next time.